Hello, everyone in YouTube world. Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a happy new year. And I am doing this video before the upcoming new year, which is going to be 2024. However, I might upload this video at the very end or tail end of 2023, just to squeeze it in before we ring in the new year. So I wanted to do something like that because I still have my Truly Me number 67 doll, Gigi, and I have Nikki wearing the New Year's outfit from the historical line that Nikki represents, which is 1999, going into the millennium. So I like the fact that in her collection, she has like a lot of things that I grew up with, like a VHS tape that we would get from Blockbuster or places like Blockbuster Video. I know there was a place called Hollywood Video at one point in my hometown, but I think Blockbuster was the most popular one. And I like the fact that I get to ring in the new year by looking back at how I rung in the new year in 2000. And I was a teenager in 1999. So for those of you who weren't around in 1999, I can relate to Nikki's line very much so. But I can also say that I wasn't really able to connect fully with her character simply because 1999 was a little bit different for me as an African American young girl growing up, or young lady growing up, since I was in my teenage years in the 1990s. So because I couldn't really relate fully to Nikki, that still did not deter me from buying her because I thought she was a pretty doll. And there were still a lot of things in her story that I could remember and relate to. However, I did want to get the same outfit for Gigi when this outfit came out, because this would have been an outfit that I would have worn in the late 1990s. Not so much 1999. I would probably say I would have worn an outfit like this more so in 1996 or 1997. So I don't know if the fashion trend was a little bit behind on the West Coast, when you think as far north as Oregon and Washington, or Seattle, Washington, and the Dakotas, North Dakota, South Dakota, like some of those states. I don't really know if maybe they kept up with the fashion, but if this was something that someone wore in 1999, that would make sense too, because I think American Girl also came out with something for girls to wear that was the exact replica of what the dolls were wearing in 1999. So there were some girls who were still wearing some of these vinyl like jumpers and overalls and outfits. I remember watching a NSYNC clip on YouTube where they performed in Germany, and I believe the lead, Justin Timberlake, was wearing a black vinyl overall set with a red turtleneck. So it was kind of like vice versa. It was reversed. But anyway, I brought out Gigi just because I could relate to a brown skin doll wearing this, and I did want a representation of myself and what I would have looked like in the 1990s wearing this outfit. And plus, some of the things that Nikki goes through in her book, and I'm not going to give it away, it was very, very different from the things that I went through, and I believe some other kids of color would have gone through in 1999. Like, for instance, I remember having to talk to my parents about a teacher who gave me a 0, which is less than an F on a paper, because she flat out said that she did not think an African American student like me would have been able to recognize symbolism in a story that we had read, which was one of our class novels. And this was honors English at the time. And this teacher, I never really thought she liked me, but I didn't think that she was prejudiced either until she had said that. And at a young age, I was like a teenager. So I had to go to my parents and, ask them to read my paper because I said, well, I don't think I deserved a 0 on this kind of paper. I really worked hard on this kind of paper. So my parents had to intervene on my behalf because I did not know what racism was when I was a teenager. I was told by some of my friends who were mostly like Nikki, who were white, that that was something of the past, that that doesn't exist today. And at the time, it was the 1990s, late 1990s, that I had encountered that type of racism from an adult. And this teacher was probably in her mid 40s when she made that statement about how she had never had an African American student write like that. And I couldn't understand what she meant when she said write like that. And she was implying that she did not think I was smart enough to come up with those kinds of concepts at that age. And with Nikki's plot is a little bit different, where she is suffering from, maybe feeling anxious. But when I was a teenager, I encountered racism like that for the first time. So when I was ringing in the new year, that's what was on my mind, the racism that I had experienced from my school teacher. And so I really wanted to bring out Gigi in a similar outfit because I would twin with my friends who were white. And even though I didn't encounter the same type of problems they encountered, I still had to learn how to deal with those problems and persevere. And so I don't want anyone to think that anxiety or feeling less than should stop you from achieving your dreams. If you have a dream, if you have a goal, my goal was to be successful and go to college. And I wasn't going to let that teacher stop me. I knew I was smart. I knew I could write well. I knew I could do all the things that my white counterparts could do. So I really did not let that deter me. And I don't know if Nikki could have persevered through that type of racism. I have no idea if she could have. However, I know I had to. And I know that a lot of kids who are brown skinned, who had to deal with things like that and still have to deal with things like that. My argument is that you have to keep enduring. You have to believe in yourself the same way Nikki had to believe in herself when she had to encounter her problems. So for me, my problem of racism was a little bit more hurtful. And I believe that that was something I had to really go to an adult to help me with, which I had never done before. So that's something that I do encourage people to do. If you see something, speak up. If you feel like that you're being mistreated, speak up, because that is something that I had to deal with in the late 90s. And again, we were getting ready to go into the new millennium. So for anyone who says that racism or that kind of behavior does not exist, it existed in 1999, it existed in the 1960s, and it existed back in the 1850s. So unfortunately, I did have to ring in the new year with an event like that. So hopefully, as I kind of relive my 1999-2000 days, I can focus more on the positive things that happened. So I went back and I watched some Friends episodes. And I believe when I was watching Friends, even though I didn't go through the same things those 20-something-year-olds went through because they were a lot older than I was at the time, I could still relate to it being a funny sitcom. My friends were watching it. So when I went back and saw the 1999 episode where they ring in the new year with the new millennium, I really wanted to recreate that with these two dolls. So instead of focusing on the negative, I could focus on all the things that were positive in my life back in the day. But I also wanted to continue showing you guys what you get with the Advent calendar and how to use them with your modern day dolls versus your historical dolls. But in this case, Gigi is wearing a 1999 outfit. So I don't know how modern Gigi is as far as the representation is concerned. But I'm going to pretend that she's still in her snow outfit, her snowsuit, even though I did have to change her so that she could ring in the new year with her friend Nikki. I have no plans on getting Isabel. I think I stated that in my last couple of videos with Nikki, simply because I had friends that looked like Nikki, and I could relate to Nikki's character a little bit more than Isabel's. I don't think I had one friend that was that was at all similar to Isabel. So I really did not want to purchase the Isabel doll simply for that reason. But I do love Mary Ellen. So even though I don't have anything in common with Mary Ellen, I still think Mary Ellen is a very cute doll, which is why I ended up getting her. And you guys know that I was comparing the Barbies when I did the Barbie Advent calendar as well. So they're just going to stick around for this video. All right, I will show you guys what's in the Advent calendar and complete it once and for all. Okay, so number 12 is candy canes, or are candy canes, and they're in like a case. So these could be historical as well. So I'm going to put those with Mary Ellen. Okay, this one is a tall glass of milk with a fuchsia-like snowflake and some stars, but I still think this could be seen as an historical item as well as a modern one. So number 13 is both historical and modern, I think. Okay, number 14 is a plate, and I think just because of the design of the plate, I would say this could be definitely more modern than historical. So that one goes to Gigi. Okay, so this is number 15, and these are just cookies that have, different color chocolate chips in them. And I'm not really sure they did something like that back in the 1950s. I think those color-coded chips or candy was added after the 1950s. So I'm going to say this concept is more modern than anything else. Okay, number 16, you have a blue mug with some peppermint and marshmallows, but I think because of the turquoise or the green-blue color of the cup, I would say that's more of a modern touch. So again, we're getting into more modern pieces right now. 17 is on the leg, and it is a reindeer cookie. Definitely could be seen as a cookie that Mary Ellen would eat in the 1950s, or your modern doll. So let's go to 18. Okay, with this one you get a piping bag with a pink American Girl sticker on it. So I definitely feel like that's more modern. Okay, with 19, you get an old-fashioned looking Frosty the Snowman whose button nose has fallen off. So I believe that because of the way he looks, or the way the snowman looks, this would be something that could be historical, more so than modern. But you could also use it for, again, your modern dolls, but definitely don't be afraid to use this one with Mary Ellen in the kitchen. Number 20, you have some sprinkles that are more pink and purple, so definitely modern. Okay, number 24 was cleverly, 24, I'm sorry. Number 22 was cleverly hidden. It is a lollipop, and because of the purple and white swirl, I think it is definitely more for a modern doll. Okay, number 23. Sorry. Number 23 is a Christmas tree cookie, decorated very nicely. So definitely a historical touch as well as modern. So Mary Ellen. Number 24 is a lovely snow globe. So I could definitely see that going with Mary Ellen as well as modern dolls. Okay, I went ahead and opened the Isabel and Nikki's New Year party accessories. So here they are with their party hats. And so even though this is an Isabel, I remember ringing in the New Year in 2000, and I really wanted a brown skin doll along with my Nikki to ring in the 2000 year, just because I'm a brown skin person who rung in the new year in 2000, and I wanted representation. I wanted to see myself in the form of a doll to ring in the new year with Nikki's collection. So I think the baked goods that go with the advent calendar for American Girl's holiday season could easily go with the Nikki collection as well, because they get cupcakes for their New Year's accessory, which is really cute. And so Nikki, of course, would have the purple, since purple's her favorite color. And my favorite color is pink. So Gigi can have the pink cupcake. All right, guys. Well, that is the video. I hope you guys had a very Merry Christmas, and I hope that you got all that you wanted for that holiday season, whether it was Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, or Christmas, or St. Lucia. And I hope that your New Year's is bright and merry. And I will show you guys what we are doing to ring in 2024. Okay, so to ring in 2024, we got this 2024 banner where we're going to blow up all these balloons. And in honor of me listening to NSYNC Home for the Holidays album, I have the official Kiss Me at Midnight backdrop that we are going to hang for a photo op. So 2024 is looking very festive and very pink. If you like rose gold, then you should like some of these decorations. But that's how I'm going to ring in the new year, guys. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you like my content. All right, talk to you later.